Cosrx is one of those skincare brands that I lean on time and time again because they just make such solid, reliable products. And recently, Cosrx has actually been coming out with quite a few new products. So give this video a big thumbs up because today we're going to talk about one of those new products, the Balancium Comfort Ceramide Cream. We're going to find out all the beneficial ingredients in this cream. We're also going to talk about if this is actually good for moisture barrier care. Plus, we're going to find out which skin type this is really best for and which skin type this is not best for. So Cosrx is a brand that is generally known for creating a lot of great skincare products geared more towards oily and acne-prone skin. Of course, they definitely have a really big range of products, and they definitely have some things for dry skin in their line. I'm thinking Honey Ceramide Cream is pretty good, as well as the Rice Overnight Mask. But generally speaking, the bulk of their line really is geared more towards thinner and lighter weight. And their recent releases really do seem to be addressing that gap in their product line and really coming out with more options for drier skin, which is very exciting. So the Cosrx Balancium Ceramide Cream has a couple of claims on it, and it claims to moisturize your skin, soothe your skin, and it also claims to strengthen up your moisture barrier. Now, Cosrx also makes another claim that I think is quite bold, and that is that this cream is actually a universal cream. It is perfect for all skin types and all climates. Now, spoiler alert, I don't agree with this statement at all, and I want to explain to you why I think that this is a false claim. But let's explore the product a little bit further, get a little bit more familiar, and then I'm going to tell you why I don't think that this is quite right. So let's talk about ingredients. Now, the Comfort Ceramide Cream contains ceramides. It better contain ceramides. It's in the name, right? So there's actually 10,000 parts per million of ceramide in this formula, and ceramides are really having a skincare moment. Have you noticed that ceramides are actually like pretty trendy? They're like Centella. Centella was the hot ingredient of 2018 in my opinion, and I feel like ceramides are the hot ingredient of 2019. Like, this is the one that everybody wants in their products, and I am not mad about that. Ceramides are an amazing ingredient. Now, ceramides are actually naturally found in your skin. They make up 50% of our skin, and the highest concentration of ceramides are found at the top layer of our skin, aka the moisture barrier. Ceramides are really the building blocks of your moisture barrier. And ceramides in skincare are actually considered to be ingredients that are skin identical. And basically what that means is because ceramides are actually naturally produced on our skin, when we apply ceramides topically through skincare products, our skin recognizes the ceramide in the skincare product and goes, oh, hey, that's just like what's already in my skin. Give me some of that. And it takes it and it absorbs it and it accepts it way better and is able to use it better than some other ingredients that are used in skincare. So it is skin identical, and because it's skin identical, that means that ceramides are actually an appropriate ingredient for every single skin type, not just dry skin. Everybody can benefit from using ceramides in their skincare. So I just had to tell you that I was a little disappointed when I very first read this ingredients list. Before even trying the product, I was reading the ingredients list and I was like, I don't know about this one. Now, you guys know I'm all about barrier care, and having recently healed my damaged moisture barrier, I have a really heavy focus on barrier-loving ingredients. I am looking at an ingredients list and I am looking for 3 ingredients to tell me if this is going to be good for my moisture barrier. And those ingredients are, you say it with me, right? Ceramides, fatty acids, and cholesterol. I'm always talking about these ingredients. Why? Because they work to heal severely damaged moisture barriers. Now, I looked for these ingredients on the list. I found ceramides. Duh. I found fatty acids, quite a few of them. There's no cholesterol here. And so I was like, this says barrier care, but I don't see cholesterol. So I'm just telling you guys what my bias was before I even started this. And basically I was like, all right, So I don't see those 3 ingredients. That doesn't mean that I need to write this product off, right? Let's look further into the ingredients and see what's going on here. So I did look further into the ingredients and I found some really good moisture barrier loving ingredients like niacinamide. Now we know niacinamide to be a very brightening ingredient. It can really help lighten up dark marks. But did you also know niacinamide is actually considered a barrier restoring ingredient? It's very restorative to the skin. Niacinamide also one of those essential components found naturally in your moisture barrier. Other ingredients that I found on here that were very like, ooh, barrier care. We've got some linoleic acid in here. Now, linoleic acid is usually found in oils and it is very restorative for the barrier. We've got sunflower seed oil in here, which is high in linoleic acid. We've also got great moisturizers like glycerin, an oldie but a goodie. We know that it's going to moisturize the skin. And we also have centella. Now let's talk about the centella in this ingredients list because it's actually, centella is in this cream quite a bit. So first things first, 50% of the cream, 50% of the ingredients are made up of centella leaf water. Now that may seem like a lot of centella to you, but you got to look at the ingredients list because there's actually no water in this list. Water is generally used as a buffer or a diluter in skincare. Now this is important because even though it's like, oh, why would you buffer or fill out or water down a skincare ingredient? But we have to remember that just putting high amounts of high extracts and concentrations of ingredients onto our skin is not usually a good idea. We have to dilute them down. So oftentimes companies will use water. It's very cheap. Water is basically free, right? Or almost free. And it's usually accepted very well by all skin types, exactly, right? So water is a very cheap filler. Oftentimes, you'll hear this, people will get kind of upset because they'll pay a lot of money and the first ingredient listed, which we know is what makes up the majority of the product, is water or aqua, and you're like, this sucks because water has no benefits for the skin, right? So the centella leaf water is actually replacing just plain old water, and this is the diluter in the cream itself. So this is a very good thing because not only is it buffering and diluting out the formula to actually create a usable skincare product, but that buffer, the 50% of that cream, is really beneficial for skin. Centella is very soothing, calming, and restorative to the skin. So it's always very exciting to see a formulation like this where every ingredient serves a beneficial purpose, not just serving to the feel of the skincare or the performance of the skincare, but the actual benefits for our skin. Now, in addition to the centella leaf water, we also have some isolated properties of centella, including azathioxide, madecassic acid, as well as asiatic acid. And these are all just going to boost the benefits of the centella leaf water to really help soothe your skin, restore your skin, and calm your skin. So looking at the complete ingredients list and not just trying to cherry pick the ingredients that I like, right? I will admit to you the biases that I have. Looking at the ingredients list in full, this product really does impress me, and I do think that it's good for barrier care. But let me just kind of like issue a little bit of a warning, or maybe just share with you like my philosophy about barrier care, because I really do believe that there's sort of like 3 levels or stages of health when it comes to your moisture barrier. So number 1 is going to be a healthy and normal functioning moisture barrier. The second level is going to be a weak moisture barrier when things just quite aren't working properly. Maybe you have a little bit more dehydration on your skin. And the third state of health is going to be a damaged moisture barrier. When your barrier is no longer working, your skin is very irritated, angry, and you're losing a lot of water, a lot of transepidermal water loss. Those are the 3 stages of health for a moisture barrier. And the reason that I bring this up is because this cream claims to be for barrier care. And I do agree to a certain extent. I think that it is a great product if you are looking to keep your barrier preserved, to keep it healthy, that first state of health, right? I think if that is the case, then this is a good cream for you. I also think that if your barrier is a little bit weak, this can help to strengthen it up. So it's great if you're looking to address a weak moisture barrier. However, if you have a damaged moisture barrier, I just don't think that this cream is the best thing that you can use to build your barrier back up from scratch, basically, to heal a damaged moisture barrier. So that's just kind of like the warning that I want to put out there, is that this ingredients list is good for barrier maintenance, but I don't think that it's going to repair your barrier if it's in a really bad state. There's definitely a lot of other products that can do that for you just a little bit better than this one can. And a word of warning about the ingredients. There's just a couple of red flags here for some people. Now, the first one is the bergamot oil that's being used here for a touch of fragrance right at the very bottom of this list. Some people are sensitive, so I want to point that one out, as well as the use of 2 forms of silicones. Again, not necessarily a problem, but if you choose to avoid, as well as palm oil. So if you choose to avoid palm oil in your skincare, definitely just want to give you guys a warning. We do have a couple of ingredients that did kind of put up a few red flags. All right, the texture of this cream was a little bit surprising to me, because when you think of the name Comfort Ceramide Cream, in my mind, I imagine something really fluffy, really thick, really rich, and probably white. That's just what I imagine in my mind, and that is not what this cream is at all. It's actually very ointment-like. It comes out very emollient, and in fact, the texture of this really quite reminds me of like a thick version of Neosporin. It's just very ointment-like, and as you spread it across your skin though, it melts into the skin like butter. It's a really nice feeling, and it's actually, when it starts to melt down on your skin, it starts to almost feel like you're putting a very light facial oil on your skin. It's a weird one to describe, but it feels very nice and comforting on the skin. Now, as I said, this is a very emollient type of cream, and when it does dry down, it does leave a little bit of a protective film or barrier on the skin. I would describe it as a little bit of like an oil feel mixed with a slightly waxy feel. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but it does leave a finish on your skin behind. Now, this also has some weight to it. I would not call this weightless at all, or even lightweight. I would actually call this more of a medium weight cream. Even though it melts into the skin really nicely, that little bit of a layer that it leaves on the top surface of your skin does have a little bit of weight to it. As far as the scent of this product, it is actually a very, very, very light to almost, it's not scentless, but it, you know, like blink and you'll miss it kind of thing. It's just very faintly there. It's just a little citrus scent to it. That's coming from the bergamot oil that is just kind of like giving it that light, pleasant citrus smell, but definitely not a heavy fragrance by any means. So my experience with using this cream, I really liked it. I really do. Now let me give you just a quick background on my skin. Currently my skin is dry. Now my skin does change with the seasons. So we're right at the end of winter here, and my skin is going to be turning a little bit more to the combo to oily side as we move closer to summertime. But right now my skin is dry and I'm really enjoying this cream. Now this cream really performed well for me to not only address dryness on my skin, but I also found this to be a really great product to use on nights when I used irritating ingredients like retinol. Now, retinol is known to cause dryness on the skin, so I actually really liked using this cream the nights that I did use retinol as sort of a way to buffer the retinol, just making sure that I kept my skin very moisturized as I used the retinol, but then also in the days following where you can really start to see dry patches on your skin. This actually controlled my retinol dryness very, very well. I also found that this cream really, the like standout to me on this cream as far as benefits is the fact that it is very comforting. It really has earned its Comfort Ceramide Cream really earns the name Comfort. It feels so comforting on your skin. If you're suffering from any kind of dryness, irritation, if you get like what I call winterized skin, if your skin gets sensitive from very exposure to really cold temperatures, when it starts to feel very raw on your cheeks, if you experience any kind of like wind burns on your cheeks, this is the kind of thing that you want to use, because as I said, it's almost like an ointment, and it does kind of create like a protective barrier. It's almost like a protective salve on your skin. And that's why I really find it so comforting for irritated skin, sensitive skin, like I said, winterized skin. So if you go through anything like that, this could be a really great cream. And it feels very, very soothing to dry skin. It keeps your skin under control as far as dry patches are concerned. Now, here's the thing that I want to talk about this cream though. As I mentioned earlier, it does leave a little bit of a film on your skin. This isn't always the best cream to use in the daytime. I love this at night, 100% love it. During the morning time, it's okay, but I can see a lot of people not liking this in the morning because it leaves a film, which means it's hard to layer your sunscreen and then possible makeup layers on over it. And if you're one of those people who just does not have a lot of patience or even time in the morning for things to dry down properly, you might struggle with layering things on top of this cream because, as I said, it is a little bit more of a film that it leaves on the top that is a little bit richer. And I think that it can interfere a little bit with makeup if you don't have the patience to sort of work with it. It's not bad by any means, but it could be annoying for those who don't have tolerance for that type of thing. Now let's get to the other problem, or maybe I should say not a problem, but like the annoyance that I have with this cream. And that is going to go back to the beginning of the video when I said Cosrx is claiming this to be a universal cream. Now, based on all the information that I have given you about the ingredients, the texture, the weight, my experience using it, the benefits of this cream, do you really think that this cream is going to be best for oily skin types? Do you really think that this cream is going to feel good in a hot and humid climate like the Philippines in the summer? Probably not. Probably not. I mentioned about my skin type as well earlier because, as I said, my skin is dry currently, but it is going to be turning combo to oily. And I can tell you from personal experience, there is no way that in the middle of hot and humid summer am I ever going to wear a cream like this. I could not stand it. It would be way too heavy on my skin. It would feel like my skin is suffocating. So, that being said, I think that it's just like a crazy marketing claim that Cosrx is making, and it annoys me. Do I have a problem with the product itself? Absolutely not. It's a great cream for dry skin. But as I said, probably not for all skin types. I really think this one is going to be best for very dry skin types, people who are really dealing with irritated, winterized skin, really dry patches, retinal dryness. This will be good for you. If you have combination skin, it could be too rich for you. To be completely honest with you, it really is going to come down to your tolerance levels for weight on your skin as well as richness. Oily skin, no way. Dehydrated skin, probably not. Normal skin, no, it's gonna feel too heavy for you. So this is really for dry skin, and that's not a problem, but just don't claim it to be a universal cream. One other thing that I want to point out that I really like is actually the packaging. And I think this packaging is actually very functional for this product. So it does come in a tube format, and I like that. It's not as glamorous as a moisturizer in a beautiful glass jar, right? But we have to talk about the hygiene issue, right? Jars, maybe not the most hygienic thing in the world, the most hygienic packaging, as well as the fact of, you know, I always get nervous exposing my skincare to so much air every time I use it because air can not only introduce bacteria, but it can also start to degrade the ingredients over time, all that exposure to air. So when you get something like this where the product is not being exposed to a lot of air, that means that this is going to keep a little bit better for you. Now this cream does retail for about $26. Seems a little high price at first for a Cosrx product, right? Just a tiny bit. But when you look at that ingredients list again, remember there's no water here. There's no aqua. We're using centella leaf water. So everything here is serving a purpose. It's all really good ingredients. It's well formulated and you get a huge tube. I definitely think that it is 100% worth it for dry skin. And I actually purchased my Balancium Comfort Ceramide Cream from yulsay.com. So let me know in the comment box below, what is your favorite Cosrx product? And if you haven't tried them yet, let me know which product of theirs you're most excited to try. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, please hit that subscribe button and don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss the next time I upload the new video. And if you're on Instagram, don't forget to head over and say hi. I have a link to my profile in the info box. I post there daily about skincare, about my routines. I do mini reviews and I introduce all kinds of new products over there. So don't forget to say hi on Instagram. I hope you guys are having a really beautiful day. I absolutely cannot wait to see you in the next video, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.